we are starting a new guitar build, which is a PRS body kit. So there it is. Picked this up from Crimson when I saw them at a show in the summer, and it's a peely body with a flame maple top, and it's not sanded or anything yet, but there's already a nice amount of flame going on in there, so there's plenty of figure. Got a bit of work to do on it to get it ready. I need to take all this edging off and get it nice and trim and flush from where it was on their CNC, and need to do a bit of work on the neck pocket as well, because it's not quite deep enough, so I need to take some material out of there so I can get it to fit the neck templates. In that is going to be going a neck I'm making from this body blank. This was a blank I put together for my build off guitar last year. There's a whole playlist for that one, so you can go and check out how I put that one together. So it's going to have a sister and an Afromosia fretboard. So yeah, it looks a lot like rosewood, this stuff, and it's got a lot of similar characteristics to it, so yeah, should be good. But it's a nice pretty piece of wood, and you know, in the world we live in, we need to find alternatives to the rosewoods, mahoganies, etc., because you know, they're getting harder to get hold of and they're getting more and more expensive. So finding alternatives that are going to do the job and be just as pretty is always a good thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a truss rod slot cut into this neck blank and get that fitted. So here we go, making the first cut. The initial cut is really shallow, using it as a sighting cut more than anything, just to make sure that I've got everything in the right place. So we're just barely nibbling a fraction out of the wood as we move along the neck blank, between those two clamps that I've got set up as stops for the router base. Those I've got so I'm stopping the cut literally just inside the marks where I need the truss rod, and then I can clean the rest of it up with a chisel afterwards. It's first time using this Triton trim router, and I'm going really slowly just so I can get a feel for the tool, and I couldn't find my mounting plate for a guide bush, because my preferred way of doing this is with the jig that the guide bush sits in, because it's a lot more stable. But since I couldn't find it after moving everything around in the workshop, I thought I would try the fence, and to be fair, it is really stable. Although you do have to be quite careful when you're using a fence like this, that you're not putting any pressure on the router that'll make it tilt, because your cutter will go into the side of the piece rather than along the line that you want it to cut, which is very annoying. So getting a better feel for the tool now, so I can start moving the router a little bit faster as we're nibbling away to the slot, which For the truss rod I've got, I need 6mm wide and 9mm deep. But whenever you're using a router, you need to treat it with a lot of respect, and don't rush. Don't try and take more than you think the tool or the cutter can handle. You'll know if it starts doing too much, because it'll start vibrating in your hands and it'll try to kick. And I did that once. I tried to take too much and the router jumped in my hands, which was quite an interesting experience. So yeah, just be careful, go slow. Small passes leave you with a much better finish than one aggressive full cut. But take your time and be careful, and you'll be fine. The fine adjuster on this trim router feels really good, really solid, very positive. I couldn't feel any slop in it at all while I was adjusting the height of the cutter. Like all the other Triton gear I've got, it's really, really good. I'm not sponsored or affiliated. I just like their stuff because they're good tools. And having just said, don't take too much at one time, at this point, I adjusted it so I was taking a bit of a deeper cut because I wanted to see how the tool would deal with it. So I adjusted it to, I was trying to take about 2mm, and it handled it absolutely fine. The pitch of the cutting tone changed because I was taking more material, but I could feel under my hands that it was still cutting smoothly. It wasn't getting dangerous. And being honest, the cutter I've got that's the right size for truss rod slots isn't the best cutter. So with a better quality cutter, it would be absolutely no problem at all. But to be honest, around 2mm is probably the maximum I'd ever try and take in one go anyway. There's no way I'd plunge it the full 8 or 9mm and just go for it, because that you're just asking for trouble doing that. But we're getting towards the end of this slot now, where we'll be ready to start trying the truss rod and see if we've got it to the right size. The only thing I'd like better is the extraction, but you always want better extraction on a router, and some markings on the base to show the centre of the router cutter would be very useful. So that's the new Triton router that I've got, and it's cut quite a nice slot into that neck blank, which is deep enough for the truss rod that I've got. It's a two-way rod. The slot's 6mm wide, 9mm deep, and I need to tidy out the ends so that I can get the one end in, and also clear space for the barrel where we adjust it with the Allen key. So that one, and that one. So I've got my 6mm chisel for squaring the ends of this out, and then I've got a 20mm chisel so I can widen it to take the barrel end. nice. And there we go. So that truss rod now is fitted nicely into that neck. So without any tension on the truss rod, that is, there's no rattle, it's not loose, it's just snug enough to hold it in place for when you adjust it to change the neck relief. We can start thinking about getting some shape and profile into the neck. That'll be the next video. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped. If you can, hit like and subscribe. It really helps. And I'll see you all very soon. Cheers.